What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 12 of the Downtown Browntown podcast. I'm your host, Downtown Brown. Today we're going to go over the first 16 games for the Bucks here. Already a quarter of the way through the season, which is pretty mind-blowing, to be honest. So just going to basically review what I've seen, what I'd like to see more of. I'll touch on the Lakers and Hawks game a little bit here. Bucks fell to the Lakers 113-106, and the Bucks take a win against the Atlanta Hawks 129-115. Just a big takeaway from the Hawks game last night. Really nice to see Torrey Craig get in there, get some minutes, not garbage time minutes as well. I mean, he came in towards the end of the first quarter, and I thought he looked pretty good. He had two really nice assists. One to a driving Middleton where he kind of just passed the ball through two guys like that. Super nice pass. He had a nice little dunk as well, and I thought he played well on defense and crashed the boards pretty well too. So definitely a positive. I mean, him compared to Thanasis is not even a debate, honestly. Thanasis was not getting it done at all. I mean, his energy was great, but he's just way too all over the place and can't play against good teams. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see Torrey Craig out there. I hope that Coach Bud sticks with him and he gets about 15 to 20 minutes a game here and maybe even more, because even Drew Holiday said he thinks he's a great player, great defender. I mean, he was a key contributor to the Denver Nuggets team last year who made the Western Conference Finals in the bubble. So, I mean, the kid can play, and we need defense. We're struggling on defense, especially off the bench. So he's literally the perfect guy for the Bucks to throw in off the bench, when they got Augustine coming in right away with Portis, and throw Craig in there too. I mean, he's such a valuable player for this team and should be really impactful for them going forward. I said way back in the offseason that I thought that they could have death lineups on defense with Drew, Middleton, Giannis, Lopez, and Craig, or Dante instead of Lopez if they want to go small. I think that he's got to get consistent minutes. He looked good last night, and I don't see why he's not going to get more opportunities to show what he can do for this Bucks team. I mean, he's hungry. He's ready to go. The masked man, Torrey Craig himself, he had a tweet, I think it was after the Lakers game, where he had a confused face emoji or something like that. So clearly he was getting frustrated at why he wasn't getting minutes. So maybe they ended up talking it out with him and Bud or something like that, and glad to see him out there. So it's definitely a positive for me coming out of last night's game. DJ Augustine as well was more of a positive. I've ripped on him quite a bit on the podcast here, but he's got to make shots for him to be a valuable contributor off the bench, and he made shots last night. I think he was 3 for 4 from 3, and that's what you need from him. He's pretty crafty with the ball, makes some solid passes. I mean, I think he just sometimes tries to do a little too much, trying to get to the rim. It's tough for a 5'11" guy when you got a lot of big guards in the league and centers just waiting to block a shot, licking their chops in the paint there, waiting for him. I thought he played better, and we're going to need him. The broadcast really pointed him out too, where it's DJ Augustine's a really valuable piece to this team. He has to be. He hasn't contributed so far, but I think he's slowly starting to find his groove a little bit, and that's going to be huge for this team. We need our backup point guard to be able to score points. So hopefully DJ can get more consistent here down the road. Bobby Portis looked great last night as well, 21 points. I think he had double-digit boards as well. I mean, what a great player he's been off the bench, and I think they need to feature him a little bit more. That's what Coach Bud was saying in his post-game interview last night, is they don't really run plays for Portis a lot of the time. It's just when he gets the ball, he's looking to score, and he puts the ball in the hole. So, I mean, I think he should be playing, 25 minutes a game for sure. I mean, he's just been the most consistent player off the bench, and like I said, he hasn't been amazing against good teams, but it's a long season here, and I think he's going to get better. So, and as far as the Lakers game goes, I mean, I thought the Bucks played fairly well. They were in that game the whole time. It felt like, KCP just went off. Him hitting that buzzer beater 3 at the end of the half to put him up 6. That was just a killer. It gave him the momentum, and then what do? Come out and hit 2 straight threes, one by LeBron, LeBron was on fire that game. I mean, that dagger three he hit at the end, fading away, was absolutely ridiculous. I thought it was pretty good defense by Brook Lopez, honestly, but that's just an undefendable shot. So I mean, LeBron came to play for sure. I know that he's definitely upset that he didn't get the MVP last year, even though he did get the coveted title that Giannis obviously wants more than an MVP. But yeah, I mean, LeBron showed up. AD didn't even really play that well. He was under 20 points. I mean, he played well, but he didn't take that many shots. I mean, KCP was dynamite for them. Schroeder was pretty off too, but guys like Kuzma played pretty well for them as well. And they were hitting shots. Caruso hit shots. KCP, LeBron, Kuzma. I mean, when they're making shots, they're really tough to beat because they're a pretty good defensive team. And I think the Bucks just, again, wasted possessions in that game. Dante trying to do too much on offense, which if you watch him sometimes, like he just presses a little too much and just tries to make something happen when he really just needs to, go with the flow of the offense and let things come to him and let guys like a Drew, Giannis, Middleton, the playmakers on this team make plays for him. He needs to try and not make as many plays for himself because I think he struggles with that and he just tries to force things and it doesn't end up working a lot of the time. So that was one thing for me. I mean, again, Lakers are a tough team, and this Bucks team has not beat anyone elite still to this point, so it's obviously concerning. But hey, we're 10-6 through 16 games, and it's gonna be a different season than the past two. It's kind of funny to me because like there's all these Bucks fans who are like, oh, like all that matters is the postseason, but now everyone's getting pissed that we're losing regular season games. When last 2 years we dominated the regular season, it didn't lead to an NBA Finals berth or a title. So, and now like everyone's like, oh, the Bucks aren't winning games. It's like they're trying a lot of different things. I don't talk about Coach Bud that much, and I probably should more. So I'm gonna give you my 2 cents on him. A lot of Twitter people on Bucks Twitter like to trash, oh, fire Bud, he's terrible. And I was not happy with what he did in the bubble last year against Miami, playing our starters. They should have been playing 40 minutes, not 32, 33 minutes a game. I mean, that's ridiculous. You're playing playoff games to win these playoff games and move on, and you're not playing your best players 40-plus minutes a game. Makes no sense to me. Obviously don't like that. I don't like how he didn't make adjustments. I mean, I thought that was definitely a reason why we lost the Toronto series 2 years ago, which I will continuously say that was our best chance to win a title. And he didn't make adjustments. Coach Nurse did. And ultimately, that wasn't the reason we lost the series. We were in every single game besides Game 4 when we got blown out in Toronto. We had a chance to win Game 5 down the stretch. We lost, and Game 6. We were leading most of Game 6 in Toronto, and we just couldn't pull it out. I mean, at the end of the day, the players were in the positions to win the games, and they didn't get it done. So I think it's something mainly on the players, but Coach Bud not making adjustments was definitely a factor in that. And it's disappointing, but, this season now he is making adjustments. I think, after the disappointing loss in the bubble last year, they had that meeting, Giannis, Coach Bud, and I think some of the owners were there too, and they probably like, all right, dude, you gotta switch things up here a little bit and make some adjustments to our offensive and defensive schemes, not only in the regular season, but also in the playoffs when it matters most. And Coach Bud is doing that. He's not playing as much drop coverage defense. Guys are fighting through the screens, trying to, not give up easy open shots when they run high pick and rolls with big guys a lot of the time because they know that Lopez will just sink in the paint and then they can get a wide open shot right there. They're definitely adjusting those defensive schemes like I've said before, and as well on offense. The thing that really has frustrated me with the Bucks so far this year is that they haven't, or they just get stagnant sometimes, and they play just this iso ball, hero ball, where it's just Middleton dribbling and then he shoots a shot, and it's just not even a good shot, or Giannis just taking an early three in the shot clock or stuff like that. And they're definitely moving the ball more on offense at times. I really like what I've seen out of Giannis, some games of him being a primary screener and being off the ball, giving him the ball when he's cutting down the middle. I mean, good luck stopping him. Obviously, it's easier said than done. But still, I mean, getting Giannis moving, our offense is so much better when Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton run it, because they're better ball handlers than Giannis, and Giannis is a great passer, but I don't think he's great at running the offense. That's when a lot of his offensive fouls come. That's when he takes bad 3-pointers, or just, when they're sagging off him so much, he'll just take a shot early in the shot clock. You can just tell when he wants to shoot. I just don't think those are good shots, and he needs to be off the ball more, and they have been doing that. So it's not consistent, but I think Bud's just trying to figure things out a little bit here, and knowing that last 2 years we were peaking in the regular season and some in the postseason, specifically 2019. I mean, they played great in the Boston series in the first games of the Raptors series, but then just fell apart. So I'm not saying that they didn't play well in the playoffs at all, but last year they looked awful in the playoffs, both series. And that regular season dominance obviously didn't lead to anything. So these guys realize that we need to be playing our best ball during the end of the regular season and into the playoffs. And obviously we're not playing our best ball right now. This team as it's currently playing would not win an NBA championship. But folks, there are 56 games left. I mean, this Bucks team they're going to figure it out. They have so much talent. Drew Holiday has been incredible for them this season. I mean, I love the guy so much, and he's just a great dude and a great player. Him upgrade over Eric Bledsoe is outstanding. I mean, it's shown so much. Just in terms of their offensive differences and what Drew can do for this team. He's so composed with the ball. Like, he's so strong and takes contact when he's driving and makes some nice layups and ones. He's a good shooter. He's got a nice step back. I mean, he's just been absolutely fantastic, and we all know how great his defense is. I mean, he's guarded the likes of Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and played them pretty well. Luka Doncic. So, I mean, just having Drew in the playoffs is going to be huge for us. And again, we just need to start getting some things figured out. The defensive schemes figured out a little more. They're still tweaking the bench rotations. Finally getting Torrey Craig in there. I think that's going to help them win games if he's getting 15 to 20 minutes a game. I mean, he's going to impact us specifically on the defensive end where we need help. So I like what I'm seeing from Bud right now. I mean, some things are obviously frustrating still, like when he's playing Thanasis, and some of his rotations I don't think make sense a lot of the time, specifically in the fourth quarter when he rests the starters a little too long. Like, sometimes Giannis should be in more. Like, Middleton and Drew are out for too long. It's like, you got to get these guys in. Like, the last 8 minutes of the game, they all have to be in. Like, they'll sometimes give Giannis a break right around the 6-5 minute mark in the fourth quarter, depending on the game script. And then he'll be out for a minute or two. It's like, what's the point of that? He's going to get a 3-minute breather, maybe a 5-minute breather if there's a timeout. Like, why do that? Like, we got to win games. And Giannis is our most important player. And that's the thing that frustrates me with Bud, is his fourth quarter rotations and just some of the inconsistency that he's had with his rotations. But like I said, Craig being in there, and Portis should be getting more minutes, and Forbes, Augustine, Pat Connaughton, those are the guys that we need off the bench. So overall, I think Bud's doing well. He's making changes, and that's all we got to ask for as Bucks fans. So yeah, I mean, I think that we're in a good spot. I think we're second in the East right now, or maybe tied for third with a tie, or tied for second. So you can't complain. 10-6. I mean, we just haven't beat any good teams, which is obviously concerning, but buzzer beater loss, well, not a buzzer beater loss, but that lucky bank shot by Tatum in game 1. Celtics are an elite team. That would have been a win. Should have beat Brooklyn. That should be 2 wins against elite teams. At that point, then we'd be 12-4, 2 wins against elite teams, 2 losses against elite teams. I mean, the whole narrative would change about this Bucks team, and people would be feeling a lot better about them. But yeah, I mean, I'm obviously a little concerned too, but I think they're going to start playing better basketball, especially halfway through the season, and really starting to peak. Heck, Giannis really hasn't played that great this season. I mean, he's had his moments, don't get me wrong, where he's looked like the 2-time MVP that he is, back-to-back MVP at that. But I mean, he's shooting a career low 59% from the field, from free throw line, which is horrendous. I mean, he's got to pick it up, or that's going to be a real problem for the Bucks. Teams could be deploying a hack-a-shack kind of thing where they just hack Giannis and make him make free throws. And I'm not sure that he can do that consistently right now. Obviously, he hasn't. So he's got to get that somewhere to the 70% mark, or we're going to be in some trouble. But I don't think he's played that well, like, as a whole. I mean, and one more thing, I guess, about Bud that's frustrated me a little bit is that I think Giannis needs to be defending more of the primary scorers, like a Kevin Durant or even a Anthony Davis. At the end of that Lakers game, they have Pat Connaughton ending up guarding AD off of the switch, and it's like, what are we doing? Giannis needs to guard AD in those situations. Giannis needs to guard KD in those situations, and he's the defensive player of the year last year. He's a great on-ball defender. He's also great at kind of sagging off and blocking shots, and that's kind of the role that Budenholzer's been using him on the defensive end this year, but he's our defensive stalwart. He's got to be guarding those elite scorers that are, power forward, centers, even bigger small forwards. So that's frustrated me with Bud as well. And I really hope that he looks at the tape a little more and figures out that we need our best defenders on their best scorers. Obviously, they're going to try and run pick and rolls to switch a worse defender on certain guys, and we got to fight through those sometimes to keep Giannis on an Anthony Davis, or we need to have someone else on there like a Brook Lopez or not Pat Connaughton, basically. So yeah, I mean, I think that Giannis has room to grow on the defensive end. I think it's more from Bud's philosophy of how he's playing matching up guys on defense. And I think Giannis just needs to be more consistent on offense and just take better shots. Take what the defense is giving him, make plays for his teammates, and then all of a sudden the lane's going to open up for him and he's going to slam on people like we all love seeing. So I think Giannis has a lot of room to grow. Middleton has been fantastic this year. I mean, he's continuing to get better each and every season. No doubt another all-star performance for him this year as long as he keeps it up. So our big three, Jrue Holiday obviously has been great. I think Lopez has been up and down. I mean, he's got to make his open threes, or that's what he's there for on offense. I think they really should be utilizing him a little bit more in the post. But again, you're not going to run your offense through Brook Lopez in the post. But if the plays start to break down a little bit and you need a bucket, I mean, Brook Lopez in the post is not automatic, but he's going to make a lot of those shots. He was an all-star back in Brooklyn, 20-10 scorer a couple seasons. I mean, the dude has a natural, he knows how to score in the paint. Just because he's been a three-point shooter now doesn't mean he lost that. So overall, I mean, I thought he's done pretty well. His blocks are down a little bit, 1.7 per game. I think he was hovering right around the 2.5 mark the last few seasons. But he's improved on the defensive end, and I love what we're getting for Bobby Portis. He's been the best guy off the bench all year for us. I mean, he's just, his athleticism, his drive, his energy, getting rebounds, making shots has been huge for this team. And I like that bully mentality that he has as well, getting in guys' faces when he scores and just stuff like that. So, I mean, he's been great, and other than that, off the bench, Forbes, Augustine, Connaughton, they've all been inconsistent. There's nights where they're knocking down their shots, and there's nights where they're not. Even throw Dante into that mix. I mean, obviously, Dante was shooting 60 or 50% from three through his first 10 games. It was like 60-some% through the first 6. And lately, he shot a little over 30% from three since then, and that's not great. We need him to pick it up. So throw him into that mix of all those guards that have been inconsistent, and that's pretty much where the Bucks are at right now. We got a game Wednesday night against Toronto. It should be a good game. Siakam is out tonight. He missed the last 2 games, so we'll see what happens with him. I expect him to play in that game, and I hope he plays in that game, honestly. Toronto's not elite. They're not doing too well this season, but they have a good roster, and that would be a nice win for the Bucks. They got to get that one on the road, so going to be a good game for them Wednesday. Then we take on Eric Bledsoe and the New Orleans Pelicans Friday night. Can't wait to watch that one. Zion against Giannis. Always a fun matchup there. Their matchup last season in the regular season before the whole league shut down was pretty exciting. So can't wait to watch that one. Again, Pelicans, not a great team this year. They don't play much defense at all. Bucks got to win that one, and they got a good roster though still, so that'd be a nice win for the Bucks as well. And then we take on Charlotte Hornets Saturday night on a back-to-back, and I expect, but the Bucks need to go 3-0 this week. They got to win these games. These are all winnable games for them. No elite teams. They got to get it done. Get a 3-game win streak here. Get up to 13-6, and we'd be looking damn good. So let's not get too concerned here. I mean, obviously there's things that are concerning to me for sure, but just it's going to be a long season, and it's a different one from the last 2 years. We're hoping to peak at the end of the regular season and into the playoffs, playing our best basketball so we can make an NBA Finals. I mean, we need to break this Wisconsin sports curse. I mean, I don't know when I'll be over that Packers loss. It was just gut-wrenching. I mean, year after year after year, Brewers in 2018 lose a Game 7 at home against the Dodgers in the NLCS, 1 game away from the World Series. Followed that by the 2019 Bucks, up 2-0 against the Raptors in the Eastern Conference Finals, lose 4 games straight. Then the Packers lose the 2020 NFC Championship game. No one expected them to win that last year against the 49ers, but still. And then this year, we all thought that this was our year to win a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, another one with the Packers, and honestly, it was Rodgers' best chance to win a Super Bowl with the Packers. Another one, in my opinion. We're going to have a way different team next year. My dude, Aaron Jones, is probably played his last game in Green Bay. What a rough one to go out on. Obviously, it's just speculating here, but the thought is that he's going to leave. We're not going to pay him, so it's heartbreaking. This team's going to be a lot different, and it's just tough. So now it's some people say who don't tune into basketball that much. Obviously, I watch every Bucks game and watch a bunch of other NBA games while football's going on, but to more of the casual fan, it is officially Bucks season, guys, and let's get this thing going and break this Wisconsin sports curse and at least get a trip to a finals and see what happens from there. So can't thank you guys enough for watching. Again, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate that. And I'm going to be posting the giveaway for the $25 Amazon gift card in the next day or two. That's going to run for a week, and then I will pick a winner. Again, I have the official details for that now. You need to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You need to like this video, and then you need to follow me on Instagram at downtown_brown33 to be entered to win the $25 Amazon gift card. So look for a post in the next day or two here, and again, thanks so much for watching, and go Bucks.